Happy Monday! Today is the start of our 2-week partner trial run competition thingy. We're doing this really mainly based on participation, attendance, and then you're going to keep track of your own points. So, Team Meat Sweats is here today. So, depending on which workouts they do, if they do an RX, that's worth 2 points. If they do a comp, that's worth 3 points, right? So then you add those together, they can get 5 points today. If one of them PRs on the clean and jerk EMOM, that PR is worth an additional point. So now they'd be up to 6 points. If they both PR, they could be up to 7 points. But that's what they're going to write is 7. The number 7. Not like slash marks with lines through it or anything. You're going to write your number that you have as you leave the class. Does that make sense? And if you forget to update your scores, I don't know what to tell you, because this is up to you to keep track of your scores. So then when you come back tomorrow, in this scenario, they still have 7 points, and one does RX, one does comp, so that's 2 points for RX, 3 points for comp. They're going to add 5 points to their 7, so they're going to erase 7 and write up 12. That way there's only one number beside y'all's team name at all times. Does that make sense? Otherwise, it's going to be a giant jumbled mess. We only want one number, and that's where you're at when you leave, which, just to be clear, your partner doesn't have to work out at the same time as you do. These are not partner workouts. It's you and your partner are accumulating workout points as a team. So you put your points up there. If your partner works out in the evening, when they come in, they're going to erase yours and add theirs to it, and y'all will have a new team total. So you're just going to continue to accumulate points, writing up your most current total.
And then question.
Yep.
So if you win a WOD,
You can't do that till the next day. So the next day you'll come in and add that in. At the end of the night, we'll go through and we'll review the leaderboard, make sure everybody's scores are in the right place, make sure somebody didn't accidentally record 1,000 rounds or something like that. So we'll go in and adjust all of that, make sure everything's clean. The next day, you can look at the leaderboard when you come to class, and if you're number 1, then you can add that point up there. Or a win is 2 points if you win one of your divisions. Anyway, all right, so today, as you guys can see, we got the ski ergs in. So I'm going to try to get those put together and up this week. But I have to build some brackets. I got to clear a wall. I got to put some stuff up to be able to mount them to. So I'm going to do my best to get that done this week. Hopefully we can use those before the week's over. Anyway, today we've got 4 minutes of cardio. You got 20 seconds of that box pigeon reach stretch. So you can use whatever height box you'd like. The higher the box, the harder the stretch. But you're going to put your foot up here and your knee is going to be sideways like you do in the pigeon. And then you're going to reach down towards your bottom leg and help open up the hips, the lower back. So you'll do 20 seconds of that. Then you're going to do that banded bicep stretch. So hook your hand in the band, lean away, let it pull. If you really focus on this and you try to relax and let it stretch your arm away, you'll feel all kinds of tiny stuff into the biceps, the shoulders, all the way up into the neck. Just allow that to stretch out. Put a little rotation in your hand until you feel the tightest spot, and then hold there. Then you got those face pulls to the chest, or 10 pulls to the face, 10 to the chest. Pulling those shoulder blades down and back on both pulls, whether you're high or low, keep the shoulder blades moving down and back. Then we have clean and jerk. This is our last week of the clean and jerk, and we are working towards our 1 rep max. We have 10 rounds. You got 1 rep every 90 seconds. The goal here is to work up to a 1 rep max. So if you want to do more reps in the early rounds to warm yourself up, you're more than welcome to. You can add weight whenever you want. You do not have to go extremely heavy. He did a squat clean there. You could do a power clean. You could do a squat clean. It's your choice, as long as the bar gets into the shoulders, elbows in front, and you come all the way up. And then you're going to go into the jerk. The jerk is a double dip. You see he squats down a little bit, explodes up in a jump position, pushes himself back down under the bar while the bar is moving up, and then stands up to finish. I think I forgot to loop this. So you're just going to work on your best technique. This is 1 rep, so we shouldn't have to deal with a whole lot of endurance or breathing here. We're working on just 1 extremely technical, accurate rep. You're just going to try and do that the best you can. So work up to your 1 rep. If you get a PR, ring that bell, fill out your sticker, and then you can add that point to your team's total for the day. So 10 rounds, 90 seconds each round. And then we'll jump into the main WOD, which is a 9-minute AMRAP. You've got 8 toes to bar if you're doing RX. It's also toes to bar if you're doing comp. It's toes to 90 if you're doing the burn. So you'll bring your feet back, get your feet up to the height of your belly button or your legs parallel to the ground. We're trying to get a 90-degree angle in the hip. That's the goal of toes to 90. Then you're going to run out the front, loop around, come in the back door, go back to your station wherever you've got your dumbbell set up. You're going to pick up your dumbbell and you're going to do a 1-arm thruster, 1 dumbbell, squat, come up out of that squat into a press. You've got 3 reps on one side and then 3 reps on the other side. And that completes 1 round. And then you go back to toes to bar and start the next round. So this is one of those ones where we're recording scores as usual, but because we're in a competition, your scores and your movements have to be full range of motion, as I preach all the time. But if I see them not there, then I'm going to change your score on the leaderboard, which is why the next day you have to check your score to make sure that yours actually counted. And if you see that your score's been moved, you can come ask me, I'll tell you why. In other words, squat all the way, extend your arm, toes to bar, make your toes touch. Skylar and Tiana did a competition on Saturday. Did awesome. They took a first place, 2 seconds, and a third. The third wasn't really their fault. It was like ski ergs, bikes, sandbag med balls. The whole workout was stuff that we don't really do. So they were kind of at a disadvantage there. And also the team that won in their division was 2 ladies that own the gym, made the workouts, and never were no repped, and literally missed the bar on toes to bar by a foot, this far, multiple times, and they would just count it. They were over there squatting, like doing thrusters like this. In some of the videos, you can see people squatting a full foot high like this, doing wall balls. And of course, Skylar and Tiana were going full range of motion. They were locking out on everything. And, that's hard to beat. Especially when it's, that's like me making a workout for myself. And then I do the competition. And then my athletes don't want to no-rep me, so they just let me have all my reps. And then what a surprise, I win. Oh my gosh. And they really got second place. They ended up in third. They got second place, and then they decided they were going to do a calorie bike, ride-off for the tiebreaker. And then they looked at the scores and realized their other team was the one in second place tied, so they just gave it to them and didn't do the bike. So then they got bumped down to third. So they were 1 point behind first place, who was the owners of the gym. And then they tied with second, and then instead of doing a tie break, they just went ahead and just bumped them down and gave it to their own team. So they did awesome, but what I'm getting at is It never feels good to work your butt off and have somebody else beat you on poor range of motion, right? So I would prefer that everybody go full range of motion and go slower than go super fast. Because if you go super fast, you're just shortening the movements, which means you're doing less work, and that's really all we're about. We're trying to get the work done so we can be in better shape, and we create these type of things so we can have a little bit more fun, but they're only fun if everyone's doing the same work, right? No one wants to have somebody who does short reps come up to them and talk about how hard that was. Yeah, it was a little harder for me than it was for you because you didn't squat all the way. You didn't extend your arm all the way. So take your time, do your full range of motion, make sure you're doing everything all the way, because it would be much better for you to do full work and then you finish and everybody get to cheer for you instead of everybody be like, ooh, you're the one that never does it all the way. Just do your work. You're here to get a workout. So do everything the best you can. Keep track of your own scores. Any questions on any of that? Cool, let's warm up. We got 4 minutes of cardio. We'll see if we can get loose, do a little clean and jerk, maybe get some PRs.